46 Morgan Cox episode. I'm just going to get this real quick. We know we want to talk about. Welcome back to episode 46 of the Purple Rain podcast with your boy Simply AS10 and my guy Sudden Death over there. Actually, real quick on Twitter, I got the ad. I got it.
Oh, you did? You got it.
Apparently the bozo just deleted his account. So it's mine now. RIP bozo. But yeah, I'm now at Simply AS10 on Twitter. No I, capital, lowercase L. We can celebrate that later, but where can they find you at on Twitter and Instagram?
Yeah, man. What's up, ReignGang? You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at Sudden Death as usual, man. You guys can reach out to me, DM me, mention me. I love to chop it up with you guys whenever about whatever. So make sure you guys go ahead and follow me on those too.
I just poked myself in the eye. I'm so excited for tonight. Wow. Okay, before we start, like the video, let's get out the way.
Yeah.
We're a minute 30 in. I think we all know what we want to talk about. You want to do it?
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it real quick, man. Before we get into it, I just want to say big shout out to everybody who's watching the live stream right now. I see all of you guys in the chat. You know I'm gonna be bringing you guys up on the screen. Yeah, 50 people watching already. We're only less than 2 minutes in, so big shout out to the entire ReignGang. We see you guys. We see you guys in the chat. We see you guys in the chat. Devon Johnson's in here. Zeke Phillips. All of you guys are in here. You guys want to talk about Orlando. You guys want to talk about Julio. We're going to get to all of that stuff, guys. We're going to get to all of that stuff. Make sure you stick around. Like the video. And if you're new here, subscribe. But like my guy Alex said, man. Yeah, it's above him. It's above him. It's also above me, too. It's above me. If you want to scan that QR code, that'll take you to our official Instagram page. If you want to go there, get all updates for everything Purple Rain and Ravens, too. But like my guy Alex said, we have a lot to get to tonight. So let's not mince words. Let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's get this done. Shout out to Darius. Shout out to Hemo4. Shout out to Zach White, ReignGang, Rush, My Gang Rush is in the building. Click One is in the building as well. Hashtag PRP. We love you guys so much, man. Real quick, one more thing.
Oh,
there's gonna be a lot of
I'm impatient.
I know. There's gonna be a lot of chatting going on and everything like that. If I don't get to, your question or your comment or your concern, just please put it in again. And hopefully, I can get around to it. If you do want that prioritized question or comment answered, we do have a super chat feature. Yeah, so if you do want to go ahead and donate to the channel, we would appreciate that so much. You guys don't have to. You guys know that. But if you do want to donate to the channel and use the super chat, your comment, question, or concern will be brought up to the forefront and we will talk about it. But like I said, let's not mince any more words, right?
Let's do it. Let's just do it.
Let's get right into it. So the big news coming out of the weekend.
Color of your headband.
Yeah.
Like the color. You did this on purpose. I know you did.
I did.
Oh, he did. Orlando Brown Jr. shipped off to the Kansas City Chiefs. You know what? I'll be honest. I slept on it and didn't like it at first. Hated it at first. Got a lot of backlash on the Bird app. A lot of it. But, wow. Well, I mean, I was driving when I first got the notification. What was your first reaction? I was like, wow, like we actually traded him to the team we can't beat.
So I was actually in Annapolis, Maryland with my girlfriend. And we were on the capital of Maryland. We were on a date and we were like walking around the city or whatever. And I get this notification and like I just stop. Like we're walking up the sidewalk and I just stop, come to a full stop. And she's like, oh, babe, what's wrong? I'm like, this is huge news. The Ravens just traded Orlando Brown to the Chiefs. And I was like freaking out, like right in the middle of the freaking street in Annapolis. And I was just going crazy. So when I sat down, that's when I recorded my instant reaction video. And Alex actually did one too. And we both put them up on the Purple Rain Podcast Instagram, which again, if you don't follow, you're going to want to make sure you give that a follow because, you might want to do that. There's going to be some surprises coming very soon. We don't want you guys to miss out.
Ooh, boy.
we don't want y'all to miss out. But, yeah, man, that was my initial reaction. I was kind of flabbergasted, to say the least. That's the word I'm going to go with, flabbergasted, because I was just like, okay, I'm thinking all along the Ravens are going to go ahead and do business with a team that's not a threat. Maybe the Panthers, I don't know, the Dolphins, Chargers,
Bears.
Exactly. But instead, they chose to go a totally different route and deal one of the best left tackles in the league, one of the best tackles, period, in the league, to their quote unquote kryptonite. You know what I mean? And that's where, you know, the need. Right.
Lamar called him the kryptonite week 3. Let's not forget that.
He did. And again, like the knee jerk reaction to it was just like, oh, you know, why would we send Orlando Brown to Kansas City? And it makes a lot of sense to have that knee jerk reaction because we haven't beaten Kansas City in the Mahomes era. No. And the last time that we met Kansas City was on prime time. It was under the lights. And the biggest reason why we could not get anything going in that game is because we couldn't get pressure on Patrick Mahomes. So what do? We go and send one of the best left tackles, one of the best offensive linemen to protect Mahomes over to Kansas City. So it's going to make our life even harder, you know, and we have no edge rushers still.
Yeah, me and you, we're edge rushers actually. So
right, yeah. Simply and Sutton are be lining up on the left and right side in that 3-4 defense. But yeah, man, what were your other reactions from it? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Like after further review, because I know your instant reaction, but after further review, what did you think about it? And before you get into that, I just want to let everybody in the chat know. You know, if you want to put your what you think about the Orlando Brown trade, definitely put that in the chat. I think we've got about 50 new comments already. So,
oh my goodness gracious.
If you're not watching the live stream right now, comment down below what you think. But Alex, let us know, what was your eventual reaction of the Orlando Brown trade?
I hated it. I hated it so much. I'm like, bro, F the first round pick. I would have taken a high second and shipped him off to somewhere else but Kansas City. Obviously, I've changed about that. But, I'm like, why do you help out the team that you saw how to beat them? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers exposed them on the primest of prime time in the Super Bowl. Yeah. Patrick Mahomes could not just sit back and relax. And what do? We helped them out. Oh, what did they do this offseason? Oh, they just got the top-rated free agent in Joe Thuney. Oh, they got Kyle Long out of retirement. They have a new revamped offensive line for Patrick Mahomes. Lovely. Yeah. So we couldn't get pressure on him last year with that line. What do you think about this year? Honestly. But here's, I sat back and I definitely put out some tweets that I was like kind of regret now, but I don't delete tweet. We keep them up there.
Right.
So I was like, let me just think about, because what I didn't like at most was the second round pick. And I was like, why would you give them that? I'm like, hold up. Let me do some research. Let me look at the Ravens' all-time draft history of second round picks. Obviously, last year, J.K. Dobbins. The year before that, didn't have one, 2019. Okay, let's go to 2018. Didn't have one. 2017, Tyus Bowser. He broke out last season. 2016, Camille Correa. He's not even on a team right now. 2015, Max Williams. He hasn't done anything for the Cardinals, didn't do anything for us. 2014, Timmy Jernigan. All right. 2013, Arthur Brown. 2012, Kelechi Osemele hit. 2011, Torrey Smith a hit. 2010, Terrence Cody and Sergio Kemp. Out of those players, how many of them have been huge players? Torrey Smith and Kelechi Osemele, the only ones that come to my mind. Tyus Bowser has not been a huge player. I don't care what anybody says. He can this year, and J.K. Dobbins can. So I'm like, okay, losing the second round, I'm not as mad as I was before. And I feel like we are going to trade that 31st pick that we got for something else. And I don't want to blow smoke up the ReignGang's behind, but I saw a report that Kyle Pitts is the number 1 rated player on the Ravens draft board. We got 2 first-round picks now. Who says no? But I doubt it'll happen, but that was my initial reaction. I kind of just had to sit back. I'm like, bro, we really haven't drafted that well in the second round in the past 10 years. So I'm not as hurt about it as I was before. That was a lot. I'm sorry, but you can give your initial take now.
Oh no, bro! You were speaking facts, bro. You were speaking facts. I'll give my kind of silver lining that I found in the whole situation. But first, we have our first super chat donation of the night. This one is going to be coming from our guy. Well, no, not our guy. Our gal, Cal, mod Cal, actually.
Our gal, Cal.
Our gal, Cal. She's a mod in here. Big shout out to her. My personal friend. I love her so much, man. She's great. She says still kind of shook about it and disappointed this happened when we, the Steelers, she's a Steelers fan, finally play the Chiefs again. But happy Monday to the gang. Happy Monday to you too.
Happy Monday.
How are you doing? Yeah.
You got TJ Watt. TJ Watt, I would take, he's better than all of our pass rushers combined right now. I'll just say it.
Yeah. He's a freak.
Yeah. But, we'll see. I'm looking forward to those games. but there's still hosts. I mean, there's still a whole draft to do, which, I mean, on Thursday, we'll be live streaming the draft. I mean,
you want to
in
tell
case
them
you
about
forgot.
that? Tell them about that.
I mean, 8 o'clock is when it starts. You know, we'll be talking about it. I mean, if we're talking, if you want highlights, I did 12 videos yesterday. You want highlights? I'm pushing 80 videos for this draft. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So I'm ready. I am. 80. I know you're ready too.
Jesus.
I know we are all ready. But yeah. I mean, your reactions now. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, man. Real quick, another super chat donation coming in from our guy Asmodeus. Thank you so much. He says McChickens. Yeah, man. We appreciate you, bro. All right. So yeah, I mean, like I said, my knee-jerk reaction, if you follow the Purple Rain podcast on Instagram, which you should, you would have seen my reaction. I gave it a C. I gave it a C originally because I was just, my biggest thing, I could not get over the fact that we traded, pass protection to a team where we couldn't get pressure on their quarterback. It just didn't make sense to me. And then to your point again, we gave up that second round pick. That really bothered me. You know what I mean? Because yes, we have 27 and 31 now, but not only do we not have a second round pick, our third round pick is at the tail end. It's pick 31 in the third round. So it's like we basically don't have a second or third rounder. You know what I mean? So I can really see, it really feels like the Ravens and Eric DeCosta are not done. I think we not done yet.
I love that. Say it one more time. Bring it one more.
I think we not done yet. And EDC is the one, he's singing that praise right now because I know he's got something up his sleeve, man. I feel like we might, like you said, we might trade back that 31 pick, that number 31 pick and try to get some picks in the second round. I could definitely see that happening for sure. But before I get into anything else, let's see. We got another super chat donation coming in from Jabari Cruz Ellis. Thank you so much, man. Shout out to you for joining the stream and donating to the live stream tonight. He says, I understand that the draft picks, but we couldn't get Robinson or another wide receiver that's deep in the depth chart at least.
I think the Bears think they're in win-now mode with Andy Dalton at quarterback, if we're going to be honest. I mean, Allen Robinson, I think, doesn't want to be there anymore. But yeah, I definitely I agree with that. But maybe the Ravens see something in this draft that they like, and that's what I just got to stick with. I mean, I don't want to judge it until we see what these picks become or what we do with them. I mean, sometimes it's hard to trust it, but you just got to sit back and be like, okay, it was done for a reason, and there wasn't a better suitor.
Yeah, and what this right, that's what I was gonna say. Like, what this deal tells me is that there weren't any other better suitors. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure Baltimore's first option wasn't to deal Orlando Brown to the Chiefs. Because I'm sure they're thinking the same way we are. But there is a silver lining. There is a silver lining in this trade. I feel like this was a really good trade. This is what good trades in the NFL are really all about. Everybody got something. Everybody benefited from this. The Ravens benefited from it. The Chiefs benefited from it. And Orlando Brown definitely benefited from it. He gets to go contend for a Super Bowl for a year with the Chiefs. And then, if he performs well, he can either sign a deal with them, get some good money, or go somewhere else and get some good money, right?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think there's so much pressure on the Chiefs right now. They just gave up their first-round pick for a left tackle. You think it's AFC Championship game or bust? It's win the damn Super Bowl or bust for Kansas City right now. This better come back and make them look like geniuses. If they do not and he walks, it's like, what was that for? Why did we just give that up? So I think there's more pressure on the Chiefs, then Orlando Brown number 2, and then the Ravens third. I think we can just kind of sit back and be like, okay, like we lost a left tackle or a right tackle, or starting right tackle, but we have these picks to make up for it. We are looking at some vets to come in, which we will talk about. We're looking at vets to come in and refill him. So we're in a good position right now. Like I said, sitting back and thinking about it, like the Chiefs already, how many contracts did they have to restructure this offseason?
A lot.
Just to get below the cap. So honestly, if you think they're going to re-sign him to like a max deal, it's not happening. Why do you think Trent Williams went back to the 49ers? Money. Yeah. If you're asking right now, who's going in a better win now mode? Obviously, the Chiefs over San Francisco.
Yeah, definitely. We have another super chat donation. This one comes from our guy 2K Crossover 21. Big shout out to you, man. Thank you so much for joining the stream and donating to the stream as well tonight. He says Jalen Phillips or Gregory Rousseau, both edge rushers out of the University of Miami. You know how much the Ravens love them Florida boys, man. I could see us getting one of these guys, one or the other. But for my money, I would have to go Jaelan Phillips. I like how he attacks with his hands a little bit more. I like the 8 sacks he got last season. I also like his inside attacking moves and everything like that. I think he's really dangerous, and he's a freak of nature. He really is. Yeah. I would love to have Jaelan Phillips on the Ravens roster. What about you, though?
I'm going Phillips.
Okay.
I mean, I watched Rousseau, and I like what I saw from the run game. He definitely was just, just reading, kind of, just these trick plays. But I'm going to go with Phillips, just more of what we need now compared to, I think Phillips could come in and make an immediate impact compared to Rousseau, probably sit behind somebody and then edges Wayne. No, we need it right now. So I'm going to go with Phillips.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we have another super chat donation coming in. This one comes from our guy, Darius. Darius, the official. He's always coming through with the super chats. He's always coming through with the support, man. Big shout out to you, bro. We appreciate you. Darius, he DMs me from time to time, like during UFC fights or other games and stuff like that, just to get my opinion. I appreciate that. If you guys want to, like I said before, DM us, talk to us. We love that. We love the interaction with you guys. Keep it up. But Darius, big shout out to you, man. Thank you so much for the donation. He says, yo, what's up, y'all? I was expecting Orlando Brown to be traded, but not to the enemy Chiefs. I peeped the jersey, Alex. Anyways, love the ReignGang.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, actually, Darius hit me up. He was at the Orioles game this past weekend. I mean, didn't get a dub, but speaking of jerseys, my boys were rocking a black Cal Ripken. So your jersey game, Darius. Don't act like you don't.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. I got Keeping It Real. Keeping It Real is in the building. Big shout out to Keeping It Real, man. He's always keeping it real on his channel. I was talking Ravens football, talking other sports as well. Make sure you guys go ahead and check him out too. But yeah, I think another thing, silver lining with the whole Orlando Brown trade is you said we're in a good spot right now, and I wholeheartedly agree with that because we have options. We have options now. We went from having 7 draft picks to 9 draft picks. So EDC has that ammunition that he needs in order to, have some flexibility in the draft. And I think that was the biggest, reason why Orlando Brown, they got the deal done before the draft because EDC wanted more draft capital. Because what can you do with more draft capital? Like I said, you can be more flexible. You can trade around.
Please
Yeah, man. And I think we'll probably end up trading into the second round because I think I heard my guy Engraven talk about it. He brought up the point about a week ago on his channel. Big shout out to Engraven Videos. He said that Eric DaCosta, he does not like sitting around and waiting during the draft. Like, he's not going to want to go 30, 60 picks without, picking anything and watching all of these good talents go off the board that he spent months, researching and things like that. So I fully expect us to trade back up into the second round. That might be a little bit of a bold prediction, but I also wouldn't mind if, if we stayed put where we are, drafted at 27 and 31. Now, picks 27 and 31 is kind of like the biggest topics of Ravens football right now and what we should do with those picks. So, because it all stems off of this Orlando Brown trade. So what do you think would be better for the Ravens? Now, I've heard some people say, hey, we should trade back into the second round. You know what I mean? Get some more, picks in there, get some value there. Or should they package together that 27 and that 31 and trade up in the first round to go and get that big name wide receiver or the Kyle Pitts or whoever? What do you think about that?
I don't think Kyle Pitts is falling past 4. I think Julio gets traded, and I think they get Pitts. But just real quick, you remember the 2018 draft, first round, 3 years ago today? Okay, we were in middle of the pack. I think we were 16. We trade back again. I think we traded back again, or we got Hayden Hurst there. We're done for the night. Wait a minute. Ravens come back, number 32. We get Lamar Jackson 3 years ago to the day. Yeah. All right. And what did we trade the Eagles? What was the big pick in that Eagles trade? Oh, a second round pick. Hear me out. What did we just get? What did we just trade in this Orlando Brown trade? Oh, wait, a second round pick. So I think we will keep both them picks. I think we are going to get an edge rusher and a damn wide receiver. I think it's time. I think it is time. I don't know what edge, don't know what receiver, but what are our biggest needs? And guess what? Creed Humphrey's going to be available in the second round. We're trading back in the second round because we have all these extra picks now. We're getting Creed Humphrey. Our top 3 needs, we're going to address every single one of them. If EDC wants to make it seem like this trade worked, this is what I need.
Yeah. Because, I mean, honestly, you hit the nail on the head. Because after this trade, after sending Orlando Brown to an arch nemesis like the Chiefs and, making them stronger in a position where we couldn't beat them at before.
Yeah.
You kind of look at Eric DeCosta and the Ravens like, okay, what's the plan? You must have a plan. You know what I mean? Like a master plan at that. Exactly. So I would love it if we were to go ahead and, draft wide receiver, edge, and then interior O-line all within 2 rounds and, have all of our needs kind of filled right there. That would be awesome. But before we get into anything else, we have another super chat donation. This one's coming from our guy.
Oh my
Gerald.
God!
You guys already know
the
what
bang?
it is, man.
Insert the bang. I see Rush already said bang. Gerald said pull up from the free throw, pull up from 3. Now I'm coming from half court.
Man,
thank you, Gerald.
Thank you so much. As always, man, we appreciate you so much. He says, I am not sure what's going to happen the night of the draft, but we have to go into 2021 season with a balanced attack. Hashtag pass rush attack. I mean, yeah.
And real quick, I see our guy, Devon Johnson. Gerald's new nickname, he said it perfect, is G-Money. That's Gerald's new nickname, G-Money. I think, like we're saying, you got to trust in the process. And I think EDC has a plan. And I'm just thinking edge and receiver. It fills 2 of the 3 biggest needs. All right. And speaking of edge, I've fallen in love with Kwity Paye from Michigan. I read a great article about his background. Like his family was I think they were held captive and they escaped. So I would love to see him come to Baltimore. Michigan guy. I mean, Jim Harbaugh. The Harbaughs talk.
Yeah.
And he did a great job at stopping the run. So I wouldn't mind him. But there's a ton of edge rushers. I think we're gonna get one. It's written in the stars. I don't know which one, but we're getting an edge rusher. It has to be.
Yeah, man, I definitely agree. I think we're probably going to end up going edge rusher early in the draft. Now, to kind of get a better idea of what exactly is going to go down with that number 27 pick and that number 31 pick, because I see a lot of you guys talking about it, like things we should do. How about we run back a quick little mock draft? If you don't, would that be cool?
Run it back, Turbo. Let's do it.
Yeah, just run it back real quick. I mean, it's only going to take a couple minutes, I've already got it pretty much pulled up here for you guys. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this updated mock draft with the Ravens having the 27th and the 31st pick. Because last time we did it, they only had the 27th pick. I can't remember who we drafted first. I think it was Terrace Marshall Jr. I think it was Terrace Marshall. Yeah, it was. Yeah. So let's see. We're going to go ahead and get this kicked off. I'm going to show you guys here. All right. So we can see already the draft is already going. First 4 picks off the board: Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields.
Ooh, no Mac Jones.
No Mac Jones. That would be interesting, right?
That's how it should go. That is how it should go. Mac Jones should not be top 4.
Yeah. Now, news was that, the 49ers were leaning towards Trey Lance. Yeah. They had narrowed it down to Trey Lance and Mac Jones, and now they're leaning towards Trey Lance. So we'll keep an eye on that. But that'll be very interesting at that 3rd pick. Let's keep it going here until we get to our Ravens. Yeah, man. This draft is going to be extremely...
Real quick. If Kyle Pitts is there at 11, I'm calling the Giants bro, you want 27 and 31 to go up to 10?
Ooh.
I feel like if he drops to that low, I doubt it would happen. But just throw it there. And
I think we could definitely do that.
And then I've seen the Cowboys. The Cowboys have seen they're interested in a corner, whether it be Patrick Surtain or the corner from South Carolina. I cannot think of
J.C. Horn.
Yes, I've seen that they're probably going to get one of those 2 corners.
Yeah.
I mean, but you can keep on going.
Okay. Let's keep it moving here. Of course, we'll receive some trades.
Azeez Ojulari taking a 16, Kwity Paye 17. Okay, Rashad Bateman 23, Najee Harris 25, and Joseph Osai 26.
So here we are at pick number 27. Right here we have the Bengals offering us a trade. Pick number 27 for the number 38th pick and the 69th pick. No? All right. So we have the Washington football team. They're offering up pick number 51, 74, and a 2022 second for R27 and pick 136. Pass on that? Okay,
I think you got to. Oh, we passed on that one too. I don't none of them. I mean, did you see any? I mean, second round? No. For a 27, okay. I expect maybe a late. No.
So this is who we're working with now. I know you said either wide receiver or edge. Now, of course, guys, this is not going to be exactly how the draft board looks at 27, but based off of projections and things of that nature, it should be somewhere around here with the available names that are left. Yes. So, what are you thinking here, man? What are you thinking we do?
What am I thinking?
Yeah.
I'm thinking taking a running back, right? Nah, I'm playing. I couldn't. That's a Raven special right now. Yeah. But if this were to, I know that I said receiver and edge, but bro, if Tevin Jenkins is there, you talked about him highly. Do you think about it?
You know, I was thinking about that like for a long time today. Oh, and I came to the conclusion that probably not. Probably not. Oh. And I'm going to tell you why. Here's why. So Orlando Brown he's probably he's the biggest hole now. So right tackle, we don't have a right tackle. No. But the good thing is we're bringing in Dennis Kelly from the Tennessee Titans. He came off a really good year playing at right tackle, allowed no sacks. He played every single game, very low on penalties as well, which is amazing. You know what I mean? So I feel like we bring in a guy like that, even if it's for like a year or two, just like the Chiefs, the Ravens are in win now mode. They're in win now mode. So if you can go out and you can get a vet who can get the job done, listen, don't worry about drafting, the successor to Orlando Brown, who, by the way, we drafted in the later rounds anyway. Don't spend like a super high pick on a Tevin Jenkins when you can go out and you can get a wide receiver and you can get an edge rusher, like you were saying. And I know last week I was really high on Tevin Jenkins and everything like that, but now with everything that has happened between then and now, I gotta agree with you. I gotta go with wide receiver and edge first. And it's actually it's interesting because Todd McShay, ESPN analyst today, he actually said that he's heard that the Ravens are gonna spend one of those first round picks on a wide receiver. So let's take a look at some of the wide receivers, since we're all kind of in agreement there. Some of the wide receivers that are left.
I see a lot of people saying Tevin Jenkins. I don't think we're going to go offensive line first round because we wouldn't be bringing in these vets. I mean, Villanueva is not going to be a backup. Neither is Dennis Kelly. And I'll be honest, if you say Kelly or Villanueva, I want Kelly. I watched Villanueva's film. He was getting bullied, absolutely bullied. Leonard Williams at week 1 was bullying Villanueva, and he's a lot better in pass than run. And what are the Titans? A run-first offense. Yep. So I definitely would take Kelly over Villanueva.
Absolutely. Same, bro. And, just looking at this 27th pick that we're at here now, do we go with Terrace Marshall Jr.?
What edge rushers are available? Just taking that.
So taking a look at the edge rushers, the top 3, we still got Jason Owe, Gregory Rousseau, Jalen Phillips, Carlos Basham is still there. Honestly, I would say take a wide receiver here because if you look at who picks after us, the Saints have a wide receiver need. The Packers have a wide receiver need. The Bills, not so much, but, they could take a wide receiver later on. But those two, Terrace Marshall will surely be off the board by the time we get to 30.
When the Packers, they'll pick another quarterback in the first round they're not going to use. So
that would be hilarious.
It would. But I think TMJ is the pick here.
TMJ. All right, so we're going to go with Terrace Marshall Jr. That's going to be our first pick. You can see, the Dolphins pick Travis Etienne. And Tevin Jenkins goes next.
And then Jason Owe. Now, see, Kansas City, we've already done this before. I mean, they keep on trying to – they're giving us the pick back. They're giving us our second-round pick back.
Yeah, you're not about to sell that back to us like that. No.
Come on now. Come on.
Let's see. What about this one? What about this Patriots offer?
We're in win now mode.
We're in win now mode. Yeah. I got you.
We're in win now.
You're right. And I've heard a lot of people saying it today. The Ravens, more than anything, they need impact players. Players who are going to make a big impact on the game. Terrace Marshall Jr., he can be one of those guys, But moving along here, let's see. So, like we said, the Dolphins took Travis Etienne. Tevin Jenkins goes to the Packers. Jason Owe goes to the Bills. And that leaves us to draft an edge rusher. We pretty much have the pick of the litter here between 3 really good guys. Actually 4. I see Joe Tryon is still in there too. Ronnie Perkins is a good option. But out of these edge rushers here, who do you think that the Ravens go with in the first round?
I think we got asked the question earlier. Rousseau or Phillips? I'm going Phillips.
I'm going Phillips too.
Better than that, where Calais Campbell went to college? University of Miami.
Yeah.
I know he's going to love that. I mean, he's going to be learning from one of the best in the business. I think this makes sense.
You know, Calais Campbell, he actually vouched for Gregory
Yep.
Rousseau.
See, he's not a coach for a reason. Maybe they have some connection, but I think I just think Phillips is the better pick right here.
Yeah, so we'll go with Jalen Phillips there. And then after that, the Ravens do not have a pick all the way until pick number 94. So that is going to be painful. You know, we'll get our two top guys in the first round, and then we'll be good. But after that, it's gonna be a long time until the Ravens get to have another pick. So that's why I was saying earlier, could definitely see the Ravens trading back into that second round to try to get more draft picks.
How many third round picks do we have? Do we have 2?
We just have 1.
We do? Okay.
Yeah.
See, I can see us maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Real quick,
I'm not upset about the second round because we have in 2018, which many call one of the best drafts in franchise history. We didn't pick in the second round there.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. Real quick, we have about 120 people watching live right now. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you go ahead and like the video. We're at our next Ravens pick here, but go ahead and like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And guess what? We will be live during draft night. So make sure you guys are coming through because you guys are going to want to see our live reactions. Me or this guy down here, Alex, we're going to be going crazy. With whoever the Ravens pick at number 27. Can you imagine if the Ravens were to trade up and go to like 11? Say like what we just were looking at happens. Kyle Pitts falls for whatever reason.
Devonta Smith.
Or Devonta Smith.
Come on now.
Can you imagine?
Wait, real quick. Yeah. I heard that someone might be on the show next week. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know who, but somebody might be on the show next week.
Somebody might be on the show next week. Just make sure that you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel because you're not going to want to miss anything coming from the Purple Rain podcast. All right. So let's go ahead and get back into this. We have our pick number 94. Oh, this hurts because look who just went right before us picking. You know how much I love me some Brevin Jordan, man. But
I think Brevin Jordan to you is Pat Freiermuth to me from Penn State. I think that's a good comparison. I'm in love with Pat Freiermuth. I think he's amazing, and Brevin Jordan too. I like what he can do.
Yeah. So all right, let's take a look at what's left here. Addressing needs. The only thing that we have not addressed thus far is offensive tackle and center in terms of like our most glaring needs, and then safety. You know, some could argue, but what do you think that we go next with this pick number 94? Granted, we are still here in the actual draft. Do you think that we go offensive? Do you think we go center, offensive tackle, or do we go safety?
If my memory is correct, I think we got Orlando Brown Jr. in the third round, and just kind of like just throw in his face. We're gonna get your replacement in the third round too. The same place we drafted you.
Okay, so you're thinking go after offensive tackle?
Yeah, Creed Humphrey was taken, I believe, in one of the first 20 picks. I think Washington took him. I'm pretty sure.
He was gone. I mean, so like down here, of course, I'm not all too familiar with like the guys as you can see that are still at offensive tackle. I mean, I know like Stone Forsythe. I know a little bit about him. I've heard of Deontay Smith as well, but most of the rest of these guys I'm not all too familiar with. Landon Young I have heard of too as well out of Kentucky. But I definitely do think that the Ravens would draft a guy. This will be a pretty good spot to draft an offensive tackle. You know, you're not spending a super duper high pick on him, but you can still get a nice value player that has a lot of good upside, and he can be groomed into potentially our new starting right tackle.
I think the ReignGang picks this one. I have not paid too much attention the offensive linemen. I always pay attention to more like the skill position. So I'm not going to sit there and act like I know these people. So, I mean, if they know anybody, I'm just leaving it to them. They can have my pick.
I see Andrew Sakara says Myers and Forsythe. I think we should go with – I think we're going to go with Forsythe. We're going to go Stone Forsythe.
Somebody asked at PPA. They just want to see who the best – Oh,
yeah. I think it was Rashad Weaver, though. Rashad Weaver was the best player available at the time. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and that was edge rusher. That wouldn't have been a bad pick, you know. But I do still think that the Ravens are going to probably pick up Justin Houston after the draft.
Yeah.
You know.
I think, for sure. I see the Titans took Kellen Mond. That's probably perfect because, Ryan Tannehill. is bang average. It's getting his successor.
So just with this last pick here, at pick 104, do you think we address safety or do we address center?
What safeties are available?
So looking at safety, Andre Sisco is still up there.
Oh, I like Caden Stearns. Another Texas boy back there with Deshaun Elliott.
Okay.
I'm a big Caden Stearns guy. I want to see what the ReignGang says. I like Andre Sisco a lot too.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are high on Andre Sisco. Like Anonymous here says Andre Sisco in the third. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I like that. Andrew Sakara also says Sisco too.
So Sisco or Stearns? Sisco's winning right now. Sisco again. Go get Sisco. I think Sisco won.
Yeah, I think Sisco won. I was gonna say Sisco too. So let's go ahead and pick up Andre Sisco, and that would round it out for us. You guys can see there, Terrace Marshall Jr. at 27, Jalen Phillips at 31, offensive tackle Stone Forsythe at 94, and Andre Sisco, safety out of Syracuse, at 104.
And let's be real, we're probably gonna get an edge rusher after the draft, such as Justin Houston, and definitely get an offensive lineman after too, either Villanueva or Kelly. So right there, I mean, if this is the first 4 picks, I'm loving it because we know we're getting veteran wise, and we have younger guys that can step in too. Yeah. I think this right here is a pretty damn good draft.
That's a pretty good draft right there. That's a pretty good draft. I would not be mad at the Ravens, first 4 picks looking like that at all. Terrace Marshall Jr.
I'll be texting you like, bro, did we just call this?
I know, right? That'd be awesome. But TMJ, you get a guy who can line up on the outside, hopefully can turn into sort of that security blanket for Lamar Jackson, a big body receiver, big catch radius. And then you get an edge rusher, a bona fide edge rusher. A lot of people, rank him as undoubtedly the best edge rusher in this class, Jalen Phillips, man. I really, really like his play. Like I said, I like not only his rushes around the edge, but also his inside moves as well. He gets offensive tackles really off balance, which I like a lot. And he knows how to charge the quarterback, man. And, I know he was suffering with injuries and he's had some concussion history and things like that. But I think you get a guy like that in the Ravens organization with that athletic training program and everything like that, we can get him good. We can get a guy like Jalen Phillips good.
And I wouldn't be upset if we got Tevin Jenkins either. I just think that was number 3. Let's say Phillips wasn't there, maybe TMJ Jenkins we probably would have talked about it, but I'm not against that. I mean, pretty good 4 picks, and we make our noise in the 5th, 6th, 7th round. So.
Right. So. Yeah, that was just a quick little, mock draft. That was fun. That's actually our final mock draft before the draft itself. So that's pretty cool. But let's go ahead and move on to our next topic of the night. Okay. So just speaking of all this offensive tackle stuff, guys, we're going to touch bases on it again. Let's touch bases. We're looking at veteran help at offensive tackle. So the Ravens, they're hosting offensive tackles Alejandro Villanueva and Dennis Kelly. Now, do you like the Ravens' approach to offensive tackle this season? By their approach, obviously what they're doing is they're going out and they're getting veteran guys, and it kind of seems like they're not going to go ahead and spend a high pick in the draft on an offensive tackle. So do you like the approach the Ravens are taking to offensive tackle this season?
I do. If it's Kelly, I will. If it's Villanueva, I'm not too sure. If we had a top 5 pick, I mean, we saw what we did with Ronnie Stanley. That was an A+. Cannot get any better than that. But I do. I think Kelly will come in here and fit what we need. He would, and Villanueva. I mean, I don't know how I feel about him playing right tackle, especially in a run heavy offense. That's just me. Yeah, I'm just not. What do you think, though? You agree with me?
Disagree? Hey, man, I agree. I agree for sure. Villanueva, he's a left tackle, first and foremost. And of course, we already have a left tackle. I think it's more so just insurance, depth. EDC, he talked a lot about that at the pre-draft press conference. You know what? Post this Orlando Brown trade, I think it would do all of us a really good service to go back and watch that EDC press conference, that pre-draft press conference, because you'll get a whole new perspective kind of on what the Ravens plan on doing. When it comes to receiver, when it comes to offensive tackle, things like that. But I agree with you, man. I would really like to have Dennis Kelly in Baltimore. He's a good run blocker. He didn't allow any sacks last year, and he's a dedicated right tackle as well. Also, he caught a touchdown last season if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Yeah, he did.
Wow. He had more than James Prochet and Devin Duvernay combined. Wow.
Hey, that's crazy, right? That's
Yeah.
crazy, right?
What's the point of having soldiers?
Yeah. Right. But yeah, man, I would love Dennis Kelly in Baltimore. Yeah, if you want to bring in Villanueva for a good deal, a good cheap deal, you know, and he can be kind of rotational guy or just a guy just backing up Ronnie Stanley just in case he's not there, you know, ready to go. Sure, fine, right? Yeah. So, but yeah, we just kind of wanted to touch on that, guys. We already talked a lot about offensive tackle, what kind of our plans are for that moving forward. It looks like we're going with the veteran guys that we're going to sign this offseason. We'll probably draft a guy in the later rounds to be that next up right tackle. But let's see. We have another Super Chat donation coming in from our guy, the Spirit of Ogun. He says, Julio Jones. Thank you so much.
Eyes. I mean, did the Spirit of Ogun just kind of give us a transition? Is that what it
I think he did. I think he gave us a nice little segue into our next topic of the night, which is probably the most exciting topic of the day. Yes. Julio Jones.
Ooh.
Julio Jones to Baltimore? Maybe? Perhaps? Do you think that the Ravens should make a push for Julio Jones since the Falcons are currently taking offers for him? Now, we know that, you know, the Falcons are in some cap problems right now. Yes. They could definitely, you know, offload Julio Jones' contract and free up some cap space for their draft picks. Exactly. So it's looking like Julio's about to get dealt out of Atlanta. So I was actually on Twitter earlier, and one of the it was like a sports betting page or some official sports analyst page. They were talking about the odds of teams to land the Julio Jones, and the Ravens were at the top of the list, like the top of the odds, had the best odds to win him. And I'm like,
don't you get my hopes up now?
Right, don't you get my hopes up? I would love this move. This move if the Ravens were to go and, you know, just go all in. This is what we want as Ravens fans. You know what I mean? Like we're watching a bunch of other teams right now go all in on their team for this year, for this season. You know, the Chiefs come to mind. You know what I mean? Even the Browns, teams within our division, they're doing what needs to be done to put themselves in the best position to win. And this will be one of those moves.
And it's a typical Ravens, you know. This right here is Anquan Boldin 2.0. Okay?
Yeah.
32. He's making $15.3 million this year base salary. Next year, 11.5. Year after that, 11.5.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. After 2022, 7.7 dead cap. I think we would maybe cut him after that, but Lamar's going to pay. Maybe this offseason, maybe. But we could definitely pick him up this year, have him on this full contract, maybe rework something, but it can happen. It can most definitely happen. Don't sit here and say, like we can make this happen. Look at what the Chiefs, look what the Bucks did. Cat is cat. It's calling it how it is.
But will the Ravens make this happen?
That's the thing.
You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. I think it depends what happens in the draft. If we don't get a receiver, I keep my eyes out for it. I think I would.
If for example, if Terrace Marshall Jr. and Rashad Bateman are both off the board come pick 27, and we go Edge and we go Tevin Jenkins, you know, then we can start talking about, okay, Julio might be on his way to Baltimore. You know,
because it wouldn't make sense if we drafted it. Like, what happens to Duvernay Prochet, Marquise Brown, Miles Boykin, Sammy Watkins, and then either Bateman or Marshall. So,
like we have young receivers.
Yeah,
we have that. We have a young nucleus. It's just that's not the problem. We need that veteran guy. You know, we thought it was Des Bryant, but it turned out not being that way.
Didn't use the soldier correctly.
Didn't use him correctly. But listen, man, if we get a guy like Julio Jones into Baltimore, like you said, it would be like Anquan Boldin 2.0. And a lot of people say, you know, Julio Jones, he's old now. He costs a lot of money. We could rework that contract. Mm-hmm. We could rework that contract and make it work.
He's past making the big bucks at this point. He really is.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Another thing, too. Yes, Julio Jones is, what do you say? He's 32? Mm-hmm. Some might say that's too old, but let me remind you guys that when Anquan Boldin was with the Ravens in 2012 when we won the Super Bowl, Anquan Boldin was 31 years old.
Talk to him. Please.
He was only 31.
And what happened when you traded him? Still performed.
Exactly.
He still performed. Now the injuries is different. Maybe it's just Atlanta. Maybe he was faking. He said, "I tweaked my hamstring. Oh, I might be out for a couple more weeks. I don't want to play with Matt Ryan and this Mickey Mouse team. It was coming out. It was coming out. But I just definitely maybe just didn't want to be in Atlanta anymore and just not try to force his way out. Maybe this is a way out."
Yeah. Let's see. I want to get you guys' opinions in here. The ReignGang. Let's see what you guys think about Julio Jones possibly coming to Baltimore. Let's see. Ravenous Quando, shout out to Quando, says, "Hell yeah, the Ravens should go after Julio Jones. Can you imagine him and Terrace Marshall lined up on the left and right with Hollywood Watkins and De'Ami Brown?" Sheesh.
Quando, you're playing Madden right now.
Yeah, you are. You are. That's a
Marshall
lot.
And Brown. Like I said, if we get Marshall, we're not getting Julio. I'll be honest. But that's what the draft is for, and that's why you should come be here on Thursday. We'll find out firsthand.
We will find out firsthand, and we will find out together as a family. The ReignGang, you guys are going to make sure you're locked in here on the Purple Rain Podcast channel because the draft night is going to be lit. Let's see. All right, so let's see what else you guys have to say about. Adit Mahmood says, Julio is also on the wrong side of 30. He would probably overlook our passing schemes because we are in a Super Bowl window for the next few years. Hey, man, I disagree with this.
Yeah, Julio, where do you want to be right now? Atlanta? Yeah.
Exactly.
Or Baltimore?
Or do you want to come to Baltimore and possibly win a championship?
And let's be real, I don't think he cares about stats anymore. He's not going to get another big contract. It's not happening.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of like the perfect storm for Julio Jones. The only thing that he would have to kind of relinquish a little bit is, hey, man, we're going to have to reconstruct that contract because we got a lot of guys that we're going to have to get ready to pay. Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, all those guys. So I think we could work it out. But also I think that Julio, he would buy into the Ravens system. It's a Ravens move, and I can see Julio Jones being a Raven. It's just something about it. You know what I mean? And you bringing up Anquan Bolden, the OG AB, you bringing up Anquan Bolden, man. That's a good comparison. It's a very good comparison.
And then, I mean, I saw the people, Steve Smith, Derek Mason, Mike Wallace. I'm not saying they're on the same caliber, but the fact they were past 30, didn't have that big contract in them anymore. 1-year deals after they left here. I mean, Derek Mason retired here. No, he played after us. And also, Mike Wallace did too. I think he went to the Eagles. So I definitely think that it would be something cheap. And it could happen. If I'm going to get percentage-wise, a 15% chance.
15% chance.
1-5.
Definitely, because I think that the Ravens would have to. I don't think that they would have to give up too much, but in the Ravens' eyes, it would be like giving up a fortune, and that could be what that looks like a second round pick and a fourth round pick.
I saw a second and a fifth.
Really,
I want to be upset with that because, like I said, we can't draft in a second. J.K. Dobbins falling to us was a no-brainer at that point.
Yeah. But
actually,
I don't know,
saying
man.
He will if the Rams want him. The Rams don't have any picks either. The Rams traded away all their future. I doubt if they're I mean that makes even more sense. The Rams could just give away all their other picks because they don't draft as it is.
Yeah. Let's see. We got our guy Christopher Swain in the house. Big shout out to Christopher Swain, man. Mod Chris in the house. He says more options for Lamar and less pressure on Hollywood and Andrews, and defenses would have to put less people in the box because of Julio's size and speed. This is a fabulous point, Christopher Swain.
It's the presence. Exactly. His presence brings so much.
That's all it is, and nobody ever said that the Ravens had to be dominant throwing the football. No. They just have to be respected. And if you put a Julio Jones out wide, outside the numbers, they're going to have to respect that. Whether it looks like a safety shadowing over that side of the field or whether it's a linebacker, you maybe covering a flat or whatever, they're going to have to be on that. You know what I mean? And the less men that you can put in the box, the more room that our running game has to work. You know what I mean? The more room a J.K. Dobbins, a Gus Edwards, maybe even a Lamar Jackson darting out the backfield.
Why not?
You know what I mean? More room that they have to run. So, hey man, I would love that move, and I think it's such a win now move. That's the biggest thing about it, right, Alex? It's like if we were to make something like that happen, it shows that we're trying to win now.
100%.
So
couldn't have put any better. What a great episode we're having so far. 125 viewers in here. They go on strong for 50 minutes.
Yeah,
talking about a lot.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. And the ReignGang is not done. They're still coming in heavy with these comments, questions, and concerns down here. We appreciate
You
all
think
of
you're
you
coming in
guys
strong with comments? How about 80 likes in the video already? That's coming in strong.
Okay. Liking the video. We appreciate that, guys. We really do. All right, let's see. We got one coming in from Pix3X TV, says, not a Ravens fan, but I think if you guys get Julio, what do you think about you guys drafting 2 defensive players?
So it won't happen before the draft. I think it's post June 1st.
Yeah. We would have to definitely wait until June 1st in order to make that happen. Mm-hmm. All right, let's see. Adit Mahmood says, but the Falcons can verbally agree on a trade before the draft. They can't just make it official until June 2nd. The Ravens could agree on the parameters and plan if they have him in the fold.
There could be something they know that I don't know.
This is true. Which is same thing that I think is going on with Justin Houston right now. Nobody's talking about Justin Houston anymore. That train went completely silent.
I think that means something.
Yeah, that means something. It does. I mean, something is in the works. I wouldn't be surprised May 2nd, May 3rd comes around and Justin Houston's on the roster.
Why not May 3rd, the Ravens just sign him out? We're live. Who says no? Yeah.
That would be, oh my goodness. May 3rd, what was that? That would be episode 48 of the Purple Rain podcast, I believe. Make sure you guys tune in for sure. And make sure you tune in to episode 47 as well because, oh my goodness, man. The draft next on Thursday is going to be...
I think it's kind of like we're skipping over because we're not going to call it it's a draft episode. It's just the draft episode,
It's just a draft,
Yeah.
Let's see. Click one in the house says, if we do end up getting him, we should give up a second rounder. And if we can somehow acquire one because he's starting to fit the narrative of a type of guy that the Ravens would get in his 30s and near the end of his prime. Like I said, it's the perfect storm. It's a Ravens move.
And I see Anonymous says, guys, we don't need Julio. We have Josh Oliver. You ain't never lied, Anonymous. Never lied.
Hey, man. Yeah. All right, so just that Julio news, man, it kind of leads me to this question here that I have for not only you, Alex, but I have for the ReignGang as well.
Okay, let's do it.
The whole argument behind getting a Julio Jones is you're in win now mode, right? And you have to go all in for your team. You see teams are doing it all over the league, especially teams like the Chiefs. In division, they're doing it as well. The Browns, they're getting better. Are the Ravens losing this offseason so far? With our moves, all of our moves in their totality, compared to all of the other moves that were made by some of our biggest competition in the AFC, the Chiefs, of course, in division with the Browns, Steelers, even teams like the Patriots, they've improved on different fronts. Do you think that the Ravens are losing? Are they falling behind this offseason? Have they not done enough up until this point? Let me know.
It's a bang average Ravens offseason. Bang average. You know what? Thinking about it, I'm cool with that. Because thinking about it, I was so happy when we signed Earl Thomas, Mark Ingram. Now look at that. That was 2 years ago. Look right now, they're not even on the team anymore. So I'm kind of cool with sitting back because what did the Ravens do in 2018 before we got Lamar? I mean, what did we really do that offseason? Who did we get? I'm not even too sure what we actually did that offseason. And then the draft came in, had a hell of a draft. Actually, I want to see who we got in that free agency. I'm actually curious now. So let me just check this out real quick.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. A couple of you guys are chiming in here. Freddie V says, we're just fine. Chris Reed says, no, not necessarily. We have not gotten better, but not much worse. But I think we are still good enough to win the division.
We got a whole new receiving core. We got Crabtree, Willie Seed, and John Brown that year. I mean, that wasn't splashes of any means, And then in 2019, Seth Roberts, Earl Thomas, Mark Ingram.
Jesus Christ.
And the fact Lamar Jackson threw, a league-high 36 touchdowns with that as receiving core? Yeah. Rookies.
Let's see. Our guy Mod Rush says, I can't make a definite answer right now. I want to see how the draft plays out and the rest of the offseason goes. Yeah. I can see that. I mean, after Thursday, we'll have a much better idea. Well, I would say after
Saturday.
After the weekend.
That Monday episode is going to go crazy.
Idea. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. There's going to be tons to talk about on Monday's episode. But, yeah, man, I agree with that, Rush. But I'm just saying up until this point, when you take a look at, what other teams have done, the fact that the Ravens, they weren't able to sign a big-name free agent wide receiver, the fact that they weren't able to go out and get an edge rusher,
I'm not even mad at this point with the edge rush. I mean, who was really taking? I mean, Devian Clowney. Who else? Alden Smith. He's now arrested.
Oh yeah, you're right about that. There's a couple other edge rushers that were taken though. I can't think of them off the top of my head right now, but I know there were a few more.
Bud Dupree. I mean, we were never getting Bud Dupree. He was way out of our price range.
Yeah. Let's see. Adit Mahmood says, if Julio is traded before June 1st, the Falcons incur a $30+ million dead cap hit. If he's traded after, the Falcons can split the dead cap hit for 2 years. Any trade would be made official June 2nd. Yes, that's absolutely true. Were you about to say that?
Yannick Ngakoue, Shaq Barrett, Matt Judon, Carl Lawson. I mean, and then Hassan Reddick, Olivier Vernon. I mean, there's still a lot of good guys. Olivier Vernon is still out there. Justin Houston, Melvin Ingram. So there's still. I mean, I'm fine. I'm actually fine with that. We did not just waste the money on an edge rusher yet.
Okay.
We're still going to get one at the right price.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Devon Johnson says, not losing, but patient. Smoke game. Shout out to you for joining the stream tonight. Says, we're losing for now till after the draft and May 3rd. Then we're going to be good. We're going to be straight.
Think about last year.
Yeah. Lunch break hot take in the building. Big shout out to my guys over at LBHT. Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to them as well. Always coming out with dope content. They say, if you don't believe that we're better than the Chiefs or the Bills, then we haven't done enough. I love this take because you got to think about, okay, what is the goal? What is the goal for every season? It's to win the Super Bowl, to get to the Super Bowl and win that game. But to get to the Super Bowl, you have to get through the toughest opponents in your conference, in the playoffs. And the toughest opponents in our conference are the Chiefs, who we are 0-3 against in our last 3, and the Bills. So
we knocked us out of the playoffs.
Exactly, who knocked us out of the playoffs. So if we're not getting better than any of those teams, which it doesn't feel like we are, especially not the Chiefs. The Chiefs, they just solidified their offensive line. They can go out in the draft. I'm not exactly sure who they'll pick with their first pick, with their second rounder.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It just feels like they're in a really good position. Maybe corner, yeah.
Yeah. Or D-line.
We don't know. Right.
And they lost one of their starters to the Saints, so.
Right, but it feels like at this point the Chiefs have made it so, okay, we're going to make all of our moves in free agency in the offseason without the draft. You know what I mean? Trades, things like that.
Revamp the line.
Exactly. And then they're just going to save the draft for best player available. And I think that's a really good strategy. You know what I mean? Like, get proven commodities where you have your needs and then go to the draft and just pick the best guys. I think that's the best way to do it.
Let me check the Bills off-season moves. I think they re-signed Matt Milano, re-signed Darrell Williams, re-signed their guard, their tackle, and they agreed to a deal with Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah.
Am I scared of those moves? Not really. I mean,
not really.
I think we're close to the Bills right now. I'm not sold on Josh Allen. I'm really not. I'm a huge Josh Allen fan, but that dude just heaves it up in Stephon Diggs. That's what the Bills have over us right now is Stephon Diggs. That is the thing that I just think takes them so far ahead of us. A premier, absolutely premier, somebody game plan around number one wide receiver. Look what our defense did. Our defense held them to 10 points.
10 points.
And I don't want to credit their defense that much, but it's a good defense. But I just don't trust Greg Roman, which is why I really can't give them as much credit. I mean, because when they went to Kansas City, look what happened to their defense. Torched apart by Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Points
are being made. Let's see. We have another super chat donation. Oh, my bad, bro. Okay. Just real quick. This one's coming from C Iron Addict. He just says big trust. Big shout out to you, man. Thank you so much for the donation, bro.
Thank you. Big trust. Hopefully, we're back in the Super Bowl. I'm back in the playoffs again. But yeah, I think we're close to the Bills. For sure. I think if we saw them in the regular season, remember I said regular season, we'll beat them. Postseason.
Oh yeah, I feel like next time we see the Bills, it's gonna be.
Can we get them here again, please?
Please.
Best two games have been at Orchard Park, and then let's get them back here.
I think the last time we played them in M&T, we beat them by 40?
47-3 or something. Yeah, that's when Nathan Peterman came, and then Josh Allen came in for his first game.
Yeah. But shout out to the Bills though, man. They've come up, a long way. They're really good now from being trash just not that long ago. So
good coach, Sean McDermott.
Yeah. But the point, Alex, the point is there's a lot of competition in the AFC, and there's a lot of teams that we have to get through, we being the Ravens. Yeah. And it seems like so far we haven't made the necessary moves, or at least all the necessary moves that we need to make. Now, like my guy Rush said, it's kind of hard to come out with a definite answer right now because we're only about halfway through the offseason. Yeah. You know, draft is not even passed yet. It's coming up this Thursday. So you never know. After the draft, we could feel a lot better. A whole lot better.
Like last year, I felt so much better after the draft last year.
Yeah, me too, man. We added guys Patrick Queen, J.K. Dobbins. Listen, man, I think we'll be just fine. I think this front office, this Ravens front office, whether we're gonna go ahead and trade up in the draft or we're gonna trade back into the second round, or if we keep picks 27 and 31, I do trust our front office. So, are the Ravens losing this offseason as of this moment right now? Yes, we are. I would say that for sure. But post-draft, post all of our the rest of our free agency signings, things like that, I feel like we'll be in prime position to be contenders next year.
I see some great points being made, and I just want to talk about it. Can you imagine when you draft Terrace Marshall Jr., 27th? Oh, who are you coming in to work with? Keith Williams, T. Martin.
Ooh,
leaving it at that. Leaving it at that, because just seeing what they have helped receivers become, I see everybody talking about it. That could be an underrated signing. And it's not even a player, it's coaches.
Right. No one's talking about this. No one's talking about this. Ravens YouTubers, we talk about it every now and again, but mainstream media, they're oblivious, clueless.
Call them out. Call them out.
We're talking, ESPN, we're talking Fox Sports, we're talking all of those guys on those shows. None of them bring up the fact that the Ravens brought in a new wide receivers coach. Okay. And a new passing game coordinator. Okay. All they see is, the Ravens, they don't have a passing game. Lamar Jackson can't throw consistently, yada, yada, yada. But nobody's talking about the fact that we brought in two new guys to just kind of revamp what's going on in that passing game, because it was clear and obvious. Even Harbaugh said it. There was a lot more time spent on, the coordination of the running game and things we could do to get that going. And we just weren't putting enough effort, enough, time, enough attention into the passing game to have a balanced enough attack, which is what you need to win a Super Bowl, So.
And speaking of mainstream media, it was coming up. I have a bone to pick. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do know exactly what you're talking about, and I would love to talk about that. I would love to talk about that. But real quick, before we get into that, because that is a hot topic. You guys are going to make sure you stick around for that. I mean, I'm getting hot myself right now, but we haven't even started talking about that yet.
And that the headband used to be white. He's so pissed off it's red now.
Exactly. So, look, we have another Super Chat donation. This one's coming in from 2K Crossover 21. Again, thank you so much, bro. We appreciate you. He says, I'm calling it now. This episode will be the most viewed on the channel. Oh, okay.
I hope so.
I hope so. Kodak voice.
Yes. Man. I think it'd be Thursday. I think the draft one should be a lot of fun.
Draft should be a lot of fun. Definitely. So make sure you guys stick around for that. Make sure you like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you're new and you're enjoying the content as well. We appreciate it.
Away from 100. 8. Who wears 8 for the Ravens? Oh, yeah, that's right, Lamar Jackson. And who thinks you should graduate from Lamar Jackson? Bucky Brooks.
Talk about it.
That two things. I didn't watch it. I actually have been off of Twitter, and it's actually beautiful. I'm kind of taking my time off. I love it. I honestly, I recommend it. It's beautiful. But I got people, they were like, "Do you see what Bucky Brooks?" I'm like, "What did he say?" And they told me. I'm like, "Wait a minute. Trade up for Justin Fields and let Lamar Jackson graduate? What? Bro, what are you talking about? I like Russell Westbrook. Bro, what are you talking about?"
I think we should just take let's take like a moment of silence.
Okay.
Just for that take, right? Let's just take a moment of silence.
I feel like Stephen A. Smith right now because I want to ask a question.
Go ahead.
You know what Stephen A. did? He was questioning Phil Jackson. And his first move was to sign Lamar Odom, who was on crack. Bucky Brooks, stay off the weed.
Yeah.
Come on now. Come on. Bro, what are you talking
about? What is he talking about, bro? It's like graduate. Let Lamar what does that even mean?
What is unanimous MVP? Is that not enough?
Right. Like what is that? I don't understand it. I won't understand it. Real quick, we got some super chat donations. This one's coming from Sis. Says, bro, the O's are popping off right now. Big shout out to Sis. I'm not sure, but apparently they're popping off.
4-1 beating the Yankees. That Yankees crazy tonight. Oh,
okay. Big shout out to the Oreos, man. And thank you. Big shout out to Sis as well. Thank you for the donation, bro. We have another super chat donation. This one comes from Casper215. Says Bucky Brooks was still on 420 when he said that.
I think. Do you want me to send you the article and then you can pull it up?
Yeah. You can send me the article. I'll just go ahead and pull it up.
Would text work or through Twitter?
Send it to me on Twitter.
Right,
yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, man, Bucky Brooks, and thank you so much again, Casper, for the donation. We appreciate it. David, the sports and gamer nerd, is in the house. Big shout out to David, my guy. Appreciate you for coming through the stream tonight. Let's see. So, I mean, Bucky Brooks, man, it's just, I don't even know. When I first heard his take on, okay, maybe the Ravens should let Lamar Jackson graduate, and that way you'll have Justin Fields who come in, another quarterback who can play under a cheap deal for 4 years, maybe 5. I don't get it. Are you saying, what are you really trying to say, Bucky? What are you really trying to say? Are you saying my problem is this, Alex, just real quick.
Okay.
Do you think, and I'm talking to Bucky Brooks here, do you think that Lamar Jackson cannot win games? Do you think he's incapable of winning football games? Because if you do think that, then you're wrong. Because what is he? 80% win percentage so far in his career or something like that?
Yeah, keep it
something crazy. Something crazy. I mean, it's really not all that much to say about it. It's like Bucky Brooks. He's probably ruffling feathers for TV. We get that. Cool. But it's like, why Lamar Jackson? Why Lamar Jackson? And why are we acting like you can just plug and play anybody in that system that we're running with Lamar Jackson? Because you cannot. You can't. You can't run the same 3rd and 4. Oh, we're just going to give the ball to Lamar Jackson. In an NFL offense, you can't plug and play that. You just can't. Justin Fields isn't doing it. Trevor Lawrence isn't doing it. Mac Jones, Trey Lance, they're not doing it. They're not fast enough. They're not quick enough. Zach Wilson, they're not skilled enough like Lamar Jackson. Give Lamar his flowers, people. I don't get what's the big idea around like, oh, people still aren't sold. People still aren't sold on Lamar Jackson. I don't understand. What do you think, though, Alex?
If you say that you are not sold on Lamar Jackson, just say it. Admit it. You called him a running back. You said you want to make it as a quarterback. Admit you were wrong. I've done it multiple times before. I didn't think a lot of players were going to be anything good. And look, I made fun of the Browns drafting Baker Mayfield #1. He turned it on. You know, I love making fun of the Browns. I will give him credit for that. Denzel Ward. Look at him. Great corner. Just say you were wrong. It's not that hard. Nobody is perfect.
Jesus, man.
Come on.
I don't get it. We're going to get to some of you guys' opinions down here in the chat. Make sure you guys are throwing your opinions in the chat because we definitely want to see what you guys have to say. Of course, all super chats will be prioritized. Darius the Official coming in with another super chat. Thank you so much, bro.
Thank you.
He says, dude, Bucky's weed isn't even the drug he's smoking. He's a straight clown that he needs ratings. Yeah, I get it. But it's stupid, man. It's stupid because you can't act like you can just plug and play anybody in that system with Lamar Jackson. It just wouldn't work. You know, I think that Lamar Jackson, he takes a lot of obvious plays that are like obviously going to him or obviously this is happening, and he makes something out of nothing. And he does that consistently against NFL caliber talent. You know what I mean? And the way that he does it, you can't tell me, you can't plug and play that Titans 2nd down and 9 or 2nd down and 10. You know what I mean? And
3rd and 9.
3rd and 9, and Lamar takes it all the way to the house with his legs from about midfield. You can't plug and play that. Who are you plug and play? Justin Fields is not doing that. He's not. Nobody else is doing that.
Real quick. But he said that he believes they could take a college-gate approach to the quarterback position. They cash in on a blue chip and take Justin Fields, and then maybe they operate as a college team. Name me one college team that operated like one that won the damn Super Bowl.
Right.
Who?
Yeah.
And then they said, you can look what the Eagles did. The Eagles were terrible last year in the worst division in the league. And you're trying to say, oh, well, look what they did. What did they do?
Right.
Turn into a dumpster fire? Go from a playoff team to I'm sorry, but why should we do that? Give me one reason why. Here's the article. Here it is. I just don't get it, man.
I don't get it at all. I'll go through and let me see if I can read some of this stuff here for you guys. Let's see. The overall point that Bucky Brooks is trying to hammer home makes sense in theory, but for the Ravens, it will make no sense to part ways with a quarterback who is less than 2 years removed from winning the second unanimous MVP award in NFL history and has shown the potential to be one of the greatest players of all time. While he still has things to improve upon, trading draft capital to move up for a rookie would set the franchise back years, as Jackson has plenty of valuable NFL experience and has improved his game in many different areas. I mean, you can just stop right there and just see that obviously other people are thinking the same thing. These professional NFL beat writers or whatever, this is from Ravens Wire, USA Today. They are saying the same thing, man. It doesn't make any sense for us to trade draft capital. There's so many more needs. Our last need is quarterback. That's like our least needed position right now is quarterback. We don't need that.
His line last year was makeshift.
Right. It was
Please
makeshift.
give me games where the five linemen were the same from the game before. It was just mixed around. Tyree Phillips, DJ Fluker, Ben Powers, Matt Skura.
Yeah.
Ronnie Stanley at left tackle. Oh, he goes down with an ankle injury. There goes Orlando Brown at left tackle. Oh, right tackle. Who's going to play there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
And I'll have to bring up again. When your offensive lineman, when nobody brings up a play oh, wow, he blocked good there. No, he picked up the ball and ran for a first down.
Yeah.
That was our right tackle. Come on now. Bucky, it's time to go.
It's like, come on, bro. Come on. Article goes on to say, there's no doubt that Justin Fields can be a great player at the next level. However, surrendering assets to acquire a position that is at the bottom of Baltimore's needs list, like I just said, plus moving away from Jackson is a scenario that would not benefit the Ravens in any way. It's a fair point to ask why Bucky Brooks did not suggest his idea to the Bills or the Browns for Josh Allen or Baker Mayfield, respectively. That's a good point. I just think that Lamar is such an easy target for the media. He's such an easy target, you know.
So it's sad. It's really sad.
It is. And it's all because of the type of quarterback that he is. You know what I mean? People will point to all the time oh, he's inaccurate. Oh, he's inconsistent throwing the football. But then you see videos and different little stats, next gen stats are released over the offseason. Well, Lamar, his efficiency numbers, his accuracy numbers, they're actually pretty damn good. They actually rank within the top third of the league. So it's what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Not the narrative being pushed being the wrong narrative.
Right.
No, that could never happen. No way.
But you guys know how it is, man. The narrative always has to fit, whoever's speaking it. So they're always going to do this to Lamar Jackson. As unfortunate as it is, we just have to hope that Lamar can continue to prove him wrong because he has so far.
And our guy G Money, Gerald Lawson, said he would take Purple Rain podcast any day. Thank you, Gerald. We try to bring a great bit of sports and banter, and that's what we love talking about it.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, what else do you guys have to say about this in here?
Just had to be brought up.
Kyle said, breaking down why Lamar is hated would take at least a 30-page essay to fully explain it. It stems beyond football, but we never talk about it. Yeah, man. I feel like a lot of people just don't. Yeah.
And if Justin Fields were to drop, bro, we saw it before. The Steelers would be perfect for him. Who is their quarterback behind Ben? We've talked about this. I think he'll be perfect with Pittsburgh. But why the Ravens? It just makes no sense. I didn't get that, man.
Yeah. Devon Johnson says exactly, Cal. Yeah, Cal's right.
Cal's been facts.
Yeah, spin facts. Pix 3X TV says, I think that Lamar will never be a drop back Aaron Rodgers type. You just have to win and let Lamar be Lamar. Yeah.
The same way you don't expect Aaron Rodgers to run on 3rd and 9 for 40-some yards for a touchdown. That's not who it is. And that's not who Lamar Jackson is, but he will make that throw. Now, Aaron Rodgers, he'll run for a first down, but, he maybe needs a coach that let him go for the touchdown. We saw what happened in the NFC Championship game. Took 3 instead of – but, that's a different story. But, our quarterback would say, no, let me stay on the field and get the 6 points right here.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Eric Taylor. Eric Taylor says, "This is my favorite Raven show. You guys are on the rise." Big shout out to you, Eric. Thank you so much, bro. We appreciate you. Wait, I can't hear you, Alex.
Oh, you can't hear me, man?
Are my headphones not working?
I think your headphones are not working. I think your AirPods died on him. You hate to see it.
Wait a minute.
Eric, you jinxed us, man. We had such a good run. And then his headphones die. Can you guys hear me? I think you can. Wow. I guess not. Maybe you can hear me. Uh-oh. Technical difficulties live. It's why you love the Purple Rain podcast.
Can you?
Yeah.
We can.
They can hear me.
Yes, we can.
They can hear me.
Dang, I can't even hear. All right. Well, give me a second.
Okay. Well, just leave some comments. I can't bring them up, but I can see them. So I see Bobby Quando saying Lamar is not your Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady type. That's why he gets so much criticism. He's more the Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, and Cam Newton. Honestly, he's not up there with Mahomes' arm level, but athleticism, he is the best. He's the most athletic quarterback in the league. I would debate that on a wall, on a hill, until I die. There's no other quarterback that's doing what he does, the spin moves, the break in the tackles. He's not doing that. No other quarterback is doing what Lamar does athletically. It's that simple. Welcome back.
Thank you. Pix3X TV says 100 likes. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate that. All right, let's see. Real quick, we have a question. This one comes from Anonymous. Says, you guys are offered a job to work for the Ravens, but you'll have to stop doing videos. Would you take the job? I mean, what job am I doing for the Ravens if
I'm editing videos?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if it's media production work, then absolutely.
Why not? Just make the home team even better.
Exactly. All right. So let's see. But of course, we couldn't leave the ReignGang behind. That would never happen. But let's see. All right. What else do we have in here? We have a super chat donation that I actually missed. This one comes from 2K Crossover 21. Says Devin Duvernay is a special teamer. Good night. Hey, I would like to see more out of Devin Duvernay.
I mean, he could be used like a Brandon Ayuk, a Deebo Samuel. I mean, it just depends how the Ravens will use him.
Yeah. Let's see. Another comment in here. This one comes from Chris Reed. Says, Lamar is Lamar. He's the most electrifying quarterback when he gets out of the pocket. You will not catch him point blank, period. He's dangerous. He's so dangerous.
Did Chris lie there? I don't see any lies.
No. Yeah, no cap. No cap there at all. Let's see. We have another one. This one comes from Malo226. Thank you for joining the stream tonight. Says, we have to remember old people don't like change. Lamar being a quarterback is the change they cannot accept. We most remember that. Yeah, I think that's a good point as well.
It's some of the networks, you know. I mean, there are some people that just accept it, and they just want to see the league just the stars, and some don't.
Yeah. So let's see. I see a lot of questions rolling through here. I think we can go ahead and fire up our question segment
while they get them in. They get them in, it's I think your favorite time. What was this past Saturday? What happened?
This past Saturday. It was UFC 260. I believe it was 262 or 261. One of those. It was a great card. A lot happened on it. We're about to start our ReignGang question segment, but real quick, I'm gonna run through this UFC card. The top 3 fights, the 3 championship fights. You had Jessica Andrade fighting Valentina Shevchenko. And Valentina Shevchenko in that fight, she really showed why she is one of the upper echelon female fighters in the UFC. I was telling my friend Nate while we were watching the fights the other day, there's about 3 or 4 women, like female fighters in the UFC that are like noticeably different, noticeably more skilled, and noticeably just more dominant than the other girls. And Valentina Shevchenko, she's one of those 4. She's 1. Rose Namajunas, who also won on Saturday night, she's 2. Amanda Nunes is 3. And then number 4, I might say Zhang Weili. I would say Zhang Weili, even though she lost to Rose Namajunas. Now, that's the second fight. Rose Namajunas, she beat Zhang Weili by TKO. It was a beautiful head kick that Rose Namajunas caught her with, shut her lights out, and it was funny because Zhang Weili she was trying to contest the stoppage after it was all over, but she was clearly out. It was no doubt about it. Rose Namajunas, she got her title back, so that was huge for her, and I love that. Now let me see the last fight. The last fight on the card, the main event between Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal. Now, me personally, I pick Usman to win. I feel like anybody who knew anything about UFC or watched it, follow it, even remotely, you know that Usman had the best chance to win this fight. Jorge Masvidal, yes, he's good for TV, he's good for ratings, he's good for pay-per-view selling and things like that because he had that 5-second knockout over Ben Askren, and he beat up on Nate Diaz pretty good and all that good stuff. But listen, Kamaru Usman is just on a different level, man. He's on a different level from everybody else at 170. I think he's the best champion in the UFC just because of how active he's been. He's pretty much beaten he's cleared out the whole division. He's cleared out the entire division pretty much, besides like one or two guys who aren't even like number one contenders yet. But he hit Masvidal with a flush right hand. And it was funny because Kamaru Usman, he hit Masvidal with the same shot that Masvidal hit Darren Till with. He pulled down his right hand and he fired through that straight cross and just rocked Jorge Masvidal, put him to sleep, man. It was bad.
The memes,
it was bad.
They said they turned him into that Drake at the Sprite commercial from like years back.
Oh, man. It was. You talking about the one where like his face opens up and it's like
that one.
Yeah, I remember that. Nah, man, Masvidal, he got slept pretty bad, man. It was bad. Thug Rose kicked ass, literally. Yeah. And I see a lot of you guys talking about Chris Weidman and the Uriah Hall fight. That one was grimy. I know you watched that one live, didn't you, Alex?
I did. Yep. Yeah.
What was your reaction?
Bro, okay, I'll be honest. As someone who likes to post videos, I'm like, bro, like, I need to upload that. And I did. I was like, bro, like, that's what people want to see. That's what people are going to be talking about. And that kind of stole the show. That was one of the things I was like, but that was just, bro, I was like, of course I want to actually watch it. Like, ugh.
Yeah, it was pretty gruesome. And it's funny because those of you guys who don't watch UFC, just a fun fact, Chris Weidman, he actually, the same thing happened, but to his opponent. And this was like maybe I think it was like 6-7 years ago.
I think somebody said 2013. I was just checking the comments when I uploaded. I think it was 13.
2013 when he fought Anderson Silva, UFC legend. Anderson Silva for the second time. Anderson Silva threw a leg kick, and Chris Weidman, he checked that kick. And Anderson Silva's leg just wrapped around Chris Weidman's, and it was gruesome. And pretty much the same thing happened with Chris Weidman versus Uriah Hall. So it was just kind of eerie how that happened, especially because I watched both of those fights live. So I've seen that happen twice. Chris Weidman, he did it to somebody and it got done to him. And it was just an unfortunate situation. But, prayers for Chris Weidman. He said he's all good.
Just the way he went down, man. It didn't look bad, the initial kick. Then when he went down, it just...
Yeah, it was bad. And what's funny, the fight before that night, Jimmy Crute versus Anthony Smith, kind of ended in a similar way.
That was a dead leg, right?
Yeah, Anthony Smith, he kicked Jimmy Crute's his leg and he tore his meniscus. Ooh. He ended up tearing his meniscus and Jimmy Crute was like still trying to like stand and go, but like you could tell like he couldn't put any weight on his foot. He kept stumbling over. That he's tough as nails. All those guys in the UFC are tough as nails, and you just got to give all the credit where it's due for that because they do some things that no other athletes on this planet would even dream of doing.
But Ben Askren took one punch to the face and was out.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. No, I mean, we won't even talk about that. That was just, and another thing too about that UFC 261 card. Jake Paul was there. He was in attendance that night
with Antonio Brown. Bro, I don't even want Antonio Brown. No, bye. I don't even.
Tom Brady was there too.
I saw Mike Evans. I like him.
Mike Evans. Yeah. But it was funny because Jake Paul, he was actually talking trash to Daniel Cormier, former UFC heavyweight champion. He was talking trash to Daniel Cormier. He was like, trying to get all in his face, and security came around. He tried to get all big and whatnot, people holding him back or whatever. But he was basically telling Daniel Cormier, like, hey, sign the contract. We can get this fight going. And I'm just like, all right, hold on, bud. Come on, Jake.
As long as it's not Triller. I'll be honest. If it's not Triller, I would love to see it. But I just can't. I can't trust Triller.
I mean, but I can never see even Triller, no Triller. Daniel Cormier, he's not the type of man who's gonna go and take a fall for a couple $1 million to some kid. You know what I mean? Daniel Cormier. He's a grown man with values, and he's got a whole lot of pride. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to be the laughing stock of the internet. He cares about legacy very much, which is why he said on Ariel Helwani in his show, their podcast earlier, he was like, "Listen, man, I wouldn't fight Jake Paul in a boxing match. Like, we would have to get it on in the octagon, like MMA, UFC. And if that were to happen, I feel like either way, in a boxing match, MMA, Daniel Cormier destroys him either way, because he's way heavier, he's got way more experience fighting, and he's way tougher than Jake Paul. But I just found that interesting. That was one of the more interesting parts about that night, UFC 261. But yeah, that was pretty much all I wanted to bring up about that.
We did have a super chat. As
we
well,
did, we did. I wanted to bring that up too. Oh yeah, Josh Hoffman. Says, yeah, thank you so much. He says, agree or disagree, trading back is a bad idea because the offense is already too full of mid-level talent. We need impact players, not more depth. And I think that's a good point. I think with that being said, we're going to go ahead and transition into our question segment. This one will kick it off for the night. Thank you so much, Josh, for the donation. But yeah, man, I agree. I think that trading back in the draft is for depth. That's for, you don't necessarily back up things like that. Right. We want those impact players who are going to give us the best chance to win as soon as possible.
Yep. And our mock draft, that's why I picked, think about it, Terrence Marshall Jr. and Jalen Phillips. Yeah. 2 areas that we need, and hopefully 2 superstars. So we'll see on Thursday. Thursday come, let's see what we get.
We will, and hopefully we'll see you guys here on Thursday with us, because we will be going live during the draft. Make sure you guys are tuned in for that. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel and hit that the little notification bell. That's actually above Alex's head now too, and it's actually below him as well.
And also, we have 150 people watching right now and 111 likes. So thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. And thank you, Josh, for your super chat donation. We really, really do appreciate it. All the super chat, donations, all those questions will be prioritized in our ReignGang questions segment. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into that. Let's see what other questions you guys have. You guys can see it down there. ReignGang Q&A. Let's get it, guys. Let's see what else we have from you guys in here. All right. So I see a question from our guy, Chris Reed. Chris Reed says, y'all think Hollywood breaking out this year? I have a feeling Terrence Marshall Jr. and Hollywood could be lethal if we use them correctly and give them better route combos. Ooh, man, could you imagine? You think now, Alex, you think that like Keith Williams and T. Martin, they're in Eric DeCosta's ear like, hey, you get us a Terrence Marshall Jr. or you get us a Rashad Bateman or somebody like that, then I promise you, them along with Hollywood Brown will make this receiving core everything that you dreamed of and more. Do you think that they're in Eric DeCosta's ear like that? And if they were, do you think that they have any pull into getting the Ravens to draft a wide receiver early? Because it looks like they do, according to Todd McShay. I pull a little bit, but I think the fans' voice is spoken. I really do. I think they see that we're sick of just vanilla, basic concepts, just receivers that just aren't that guy. And speaking of Hollywood breaking out, I've been saying it. I expect over 1,000 yards. 1,000 yards, double-digit touchdowns. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you can agree with me, too. We want to see him break out. We want to see us to have an elite receiver that we can develop, please.
Now, here's the thing. For Hollywood Brown to have a breakout season, that would by default mean that he's technically our number 1 receiver. Mm-hmm. So then we would have Hollywood Brown as our number 1 receiver, which so many people thought that could not happen because he's more of like a number 2 guy, or maybe if he is or maybe he is like a number 1 receiver, he's not the 1A, he's the 1B guy. You know what I mean? So, but I think that Hollywood because listen, Lamar and Hollywood's chemistry, you'll never have to question that. You'll never have to question that. They're pretty much always on the same page, unlike Lamar and some of our other receivers, cough, cough, Miles Boykin.
Oh, boy.
But I definitely think that Hollywood could break out this season, and the combination of him and TMJ could be dangerous. And I definitely agree with you, Chris.
Week 1 Sammy.
Week 1 Sammy. Let's see. We have another one coming in from Click One. Says, do you guys hate it when people say talent is greater than production? Because I do, especially when people look at the Browns roster and call them Super Bowl contenders. They've had a good roster past few years, then get outproduced by us. What do you think about that?
I think it's production any day. I mean, you can have all the talent in the world. Johnny Manziel, what happened? Jamarcus Russell, what happened? That's why they're just these busts. Isaiah Wilson, look, first round pick last year. He's out of the NFL less than a year later.
Yeah.
Production, man.
Yeah, man. I saw an Instagram post today that said Isaiah Wilson has more Spotify streams than NFL snaps.
Ooh.
Yeah. Apparently he makes music. So big shout out to Isaiah Wilson. Hopefully he can get his stuff together off the field. But let's see what other questions we have. Thank you so much, Click One, for joining the stream and giving us that question tonight. If you are not watching this podcast live and you're watching the replay of it, first of all, thank you guys so much, for watching the Purple Rain podcast, tuning in. Make sure you leave your comments down below. All your questions, leave those down below.
Real quick, I see a Browns fan saying that Browns on top. Real quick, you haven't finished above third place in 2007, 2008. It's been a while since you've been on top, even second top. So you can just pipe down real quick. And let's get unmuted while we're here.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and put that in timeout. You can't spam the chat, bro.
I mean, we're all here for some just banter, but don't spam it.
Yeah, don't spam the chat. That's not cool. Not cool.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what else we have. Void. Our guy Void chimes in and says, do you agree with the saying, quote unquote, the best offense is a good defense?
I'll be honest. I don't. I did, but I looked at how good the Rams offense was in 2018 and the dud they put up in that Super Bowl. I'm going defense wins championships forever. I just think, I don't know. Defense wins championships has just stuck around and just been such a staple.
Yeah.
I got to go with that.
I mean, I feel like that's how it used to be. But nowadays, I got to disagree with you, man. I think that offense is the better defense. You know what I mean? Because you look at a team like the Kansas City Chiefs. They don't have the best defense. You know what I mean? Oh. But their offense, they put up so many points. It's like that serves as their defense. It's like instead of being down 7 like you would to a normal team, you're down 14-17 against the Chiefs, and now your offensive game plan is thrown out the window in what you originally wanted to do, and you have to kind of come back, and their defense can kind of react to that because their offense put them in that situation. So with that being said, man, I think that offense is definitely going to be,
there's been like Super Bowl. I think of it the Broncos Seahawks, the Broncos Panthers when Von Miller single-handedly won them the Super Bowl. It's just different. Yeah. It's just you'll never have a right answer. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Because you can always point time. So.
And I feel like a lot of people will point to the past Super Bowl. This past Super Bowl we just saw and say, hey, defense is what won the Bucks that game. It's like, yes,
their pass rush.
You're right. You're right. It is. But the Chiefs offense, and we're not talking about their skill players. We're not talking about their receivers. We're not talking about their running backs. We're not talking about Patrick Mahomes. Let's talk about their offensive line. It was decimated. They lost both of their tackles. You know what I mean? So, and the offensive line is part of the offense. It's the most important part of an offense. And if that's not there, then, the rest can't follow suit in terms of offensive production. So,
see what you just said. You'll never hear the media say that about the Ravens and how bad our line was. But you hear that made for Patrick Mahomes.
You do. You hear it all the time. I was thinking the same thing earlier, bro. I was watching Undisputed, and they were talking about, I think it was Shannon Sharp. He was talking about how, Patrick Mahomes, he didn't have any protection in the Super Bowl. He didn't have any time to throw. But it's like
2 people missed a block on Lamar Jackson in the red zone. I'm trying my hardest in the red zone. He had Marquise Hollywood Brown, playoff Hollywood, wide open. It's 10-10. Do not give me that. I would die on that hill. I remember we talked about this one of our first few episodes. You never hear about it with the Ravens, but when it becomes to Patrick Mahomes, the NFL's little baby, you hear it. They said, "Oh, we have to protect him. He's our golden boy."
Yeah, it's all the narratives, bro. Again, it's all the narratives. And Lamar needing protection does not fit the media's main narrative about Lamar. So, all right, let's see. What else we have in here from you guys? More questions. Let's see. Christopher Swain chimes in. Christopher Swain, Mod Chris, says, do you guys think that Jalen Ferguson will break out this year?
I hope so. I mean, I really do. But do I
can't see it, bro.
If anything, I'm hoping maybe 3 to 4 sacks. That's what I'm hoping.
That would be like on the high end. It's just my thing is we haven't seen, what is this, his third season he'll be going into? 30. We haven't seen the trajectory, like a positive trajectory, or at least enough of it to kind of say like, okay, this is the year that Jalen Ferguson is really going to break through. Because the last 2 years, either we haven't seen enough of him, or when we did see enough of him, we never heard his name because he wasn't making anything happen for the most part. So I don't think that Jalen Ferguson is going to break out this year just because of just going off of what we've seen already. It's like we can easily say that Hollywood Brown can break out this year because look at the improvement that he made last season, going from having those drops to turning up in the end of the season. You know what I mean? Or what he did the year before that.
I mean, if Titans that over-the-shoulder catch, I mean, it was like a third down too. And, I mean, if we're going to follow the trends, let's be honest. He'll break out in his contract year.
Yeah, and that would be tough on us.
What's new? It always happens.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what else we have in here from you guys. Void has another question. Says, if you had to cover DK Metcalf or AJ Brown, who would you choose?
I'm picking DK because I would be honored for him to just flatten me and burn me. Because both of them would burn me. But it's like I'd rather be flattened by DK Metcalf than AJ Brown.
Yeah, AJ Brown might give you a stiff arm into the dirt before he catches the ball.
Or maybe an offensive pass interference like we saw in the AFC wildcard. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe, but they didn't call it, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
just sell it big time. Just sell it.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what other questions we have from you guys. Hodog says, if we draft Terrace Marshall Jr., are we trading Miles Boykin? Say we draft Terrace Marshall Jr. and we trade Miles Boykin and a second round pick to the Falcons for Julio Jones. You know, I don't know. You don't see it happening though?
Nah, I don't see it happening. I think we're going to stick with the Boykin project.
Yeah, and if you look at what EDC said in the press conference, he really likes the young group of receivers that they have, and I guess that's including Miles Boykin too, even though we really haven't seen too much. I think Boykin has one more shot with the Ravens this year. You know, we got to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like we just talked about maybe 10, 15 minutes ago, Keith Williams, T. Martin, they're coming into the fold to help out the receivers that we already have on top of the ones that we're bringing in new this year. So hopefully we'll see a boost in production from guys like Miles Boykin who have all the physical attributes, right? I was talking to somebody on Twitter this morning. They're like, hey, we need big body receivers. We need receivers who can do this, that, and third. They have this size, this frame. I'm like, Boykin has all that stuff. Boykin has all that stuff. Could Boykin
be the next Rashad Perryman? Just hear me out. I mean, could he go somewhere else and just do a lot better?
I think it's possible.
I mean, he obviously wasn't a first-round pick, but it was a third-round pick. It's not like it's a 6th, 7th round pick. I mean, it could be because a lot of Ravens fans do not like him, and I was one of the guys who did not like Perryman. But he went out and then did his thing.
Yeah, he did. Guys, we have about 163 people watching right now. Big shout out to you guys. We appreciate you guys so much. For all you guys who are new here, this is a family we like to call the ReignGang. We're one big family here, and if you would like to join the ReignGang, go ahead and like that video, subscribe to the channel as well, and then you can see above us we have our links to our Instagram. If you want to scan that QR code, it'll take you right to our Instagram, or you can just type in the name that you see up there at the Purple Rain Podcast. All right, let's see what else we have here from you guys. Kayla Sports says, what are you guys' thoughts on Elijah Moore? Have you made a video on Elijah Moore?
Let me check my notes real quick. I honestly forgot who I made videos on.
Yeah, because honestly, I have not taken a lot of looks at Elijah Moore. It seems like he's kind of just been put in or started to be projected for as like a first rounder. Some people still have him going in the second round. But I was watching Good Morning Football, and I know you're a big fan of Good Morning Football.
I did it.
You did?
Yeah.
I know you're a big fan of Good Morning Football, and I think Peter Schrags was saying that at 27, the Ravens could pick Elijah Moore, wide receiver out of Ole Miss. What do you think about that? What did you have in your notes for him?
I mean, I like him, but I'm TMJ or die at this point. I mean, I would take Bateman too, but I'm TMJ until. And maybe I'm a little biased because he liked the video I made. Maybe I'm just a little bit biased, but nonetheless, I don't know. I think he'd be our third choice. I really do. Yeah, I think it's so I think it's Marshall and Bateman 1 and 2. I just don't know
who. Yeah. All right. So, but we'll definitely see on Elijah more. Deep Mahmood says, since we don't have a second round pick, would you take De'Ami Brown with the 31st pick? He won't be there at 94. No, I would not take De'Ami Brown at pick number 31. That is a huge reach, if you ask me. Considering what we actually need, if you're going to get a wide receiver in the first round, make sure it's a guy who can come in, make an immediate impact. You know, he played at the highest level of competition in college. You know, he can make big plays. Yeah, I wouldn't take De'Ami Brown at the 31st pick. I would have loved him in the second round, late second round, but not at 31, man. Not at 31. I'd rather go Tevin Jenkins or another edge rusher or something like that.
Talk about it. We are on the same page. This is rare, very rare.
Yeah, man. I'm sure a lot of things will change, of course, on draft night. Me and Alex might be going at it back and forth with what we think the Ravens should do. You're not going to want to miss draft night here on the Purple Rain podcast channel. You guys are not going to want to miss that. I promise. All right. So we'll take a couple more questions here from you guys. Again, if you're not watching live, put your question down in the comment section below and we will get to your question as well. Let's see. Kimberly Harmon just says, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kimberly.
We appreciate that.
Kind words mean everything.
All right, let's see. I'm not seeing any more questions. All right, I see another question. This one comes from our guy, Darius the Official. Darius the Official, he says, do you think Conor McGregor is slacking in his UFC fights? He's lost 2 of his last 3. Yeah.
Ever since that bag from the Floyd fight. Let's be real.
Man. I mean, that's what it is. You gotta think about it. If you made $100 million in half an hour fighting Floyd Mayweather, would you want to go back to the UFC and like risk getting your head kicked off or
risk your leg snapping in the middle of the octagon? Like what we just saw.
All for like what, $2-3 million? No, I mean, his motivation is not on the same level as it was before, and I think I might have talked about this last week. But he's just not. He's not as motivated. He's not as motivated, and rightfully so. He's made all the money, you know, more money than he probably ever imagined. You know, and he's definitely the richest man in the UFC on that UFC roster. So he really doesn't have too much to fight for anymore. He's already held 2 belts in the UFC. But again, Conor McGregor, he is a competitor at his natural state. So we'll see what he does against Dustin Poirier. But I know he was saying that he tweeted after Kamaru Usman beat Jorge Masvidal that he wanted to go up to 170 and fight Usman because Usman was still in his moves and everything. And I'm just like, oh my God, bro. Do you realize that Kamaru Usman would just ragdoll you around the ring, throw you on the canvas and just like ground and pound you to hell, my guy. Like it's not a game. It's not a game at 170. It's not a game. If Nate Diaz could choke you out at 170, Conor McGregor, then Kamaru Usman would give you nightmares, and that's why he's called the Nigerian Nightmare. You don't want those problems. You don't want those problems, Conor.
We have some good questions in here, man. I see them. There's some funny ones. You want to get to it?
Yeah.
All right. So our first one's coming from Rush. He asked number 2 or number 10. Which one would y'all rock? For me, I always wear number 3 or number 10. 3 because that's my day I was born, February 3rd, or 10 because simply as 10. Easy for me. Easy.
Yeah. I probably go number 2. I'd probably go number 2. Something about those single digits, man. It just hits a little bit different, you know.
Okay.
Single digits. I don't know.
And another one. My guy Ashton Brown. He asked you a question actually. He says, Sutton, on a scale of 1 to 10, how does Alex look compared to Patrick Mahomes? It's coming again. It's coming. Here they go. I mean, it's been. I'm not even wearing that. Bro, I'm wearing a visor. Bro,
I know. But it's like whenever you put on like a headband or anything like that, it's like people are going to – it's the hair mainly. And Patrick Mahomes, he's mixed. So him and Alex's hair texture is a little bit different. And I get it, guys. I get it. But it's like you guys be forcing it sometimes. He don't look that much like Patty Mahomes, man. If he did have one twin in the NFL, it would definitely be Pat Mahomes. Let's get that straight. But he's not all that close. Me, probably closest to me, I don't even know, dog. Probably Marlon Humphrey or something like that.
Honestly, if you like, yeah, I can see it.
You can see that.
If you shave the beard or like just trim it, yeah, I see it.
Let's see. Our guy Engraven is in the house. Engraven Video says, "What up, fellas?
How you doing?
What's up, Engraven? How you doing, man? Let us know, man. We appreciate you for coming through the live stream tonight, and all of you guys for coming through and rocking out with us for the past almost 2 hours now. We're gonna get out of you guys here soon, but we're gonna take a couple more questions from the ReignGang here. You see any more in there, Alex? They're coming in very fast. They're coming very fast.
I see somebody asking about if I have a perm or is this not? It's natural hair. I'm never. I'm not getting my hair curly because it's like the cool thing to do. It's been like this. Somebody said you look like Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I got to agree with that. I think Sutton does look exactly like Ryan Fitzpatrick.
What?
maybe if the beard came off, maybe a little bit of Taylor Heineke. That's just me.
Yeah, since we're just saying anything now. All right, Chris Reed says, thoughts on Rashad Bateman? I got him as wide receiver 4 in the draft.
Ooh. Who are your first
wide
three?
Receiver 4.
I like to see.
First 3.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm never mind.
Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith.
There we go.
Yep, and then Bateman, he's been on the up and up on a lot of draft boards. Before, he was like, late first round to like early second round. This was like, a month ago or so. Now, he's like mid first round. You know what I mean? Like, pick 20. Pick 20.
Yeah.
I don't
know. I see somebody said you look like the baby. That ain't the baby. That is my baby.
Yeah, I don't know about the baby. I think that's definitely a reach there for sure. I think I'll stick with the Marlon Humphrey though.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Void comes in with a question. Says, would you have Aaron Donald walk up to you with black forces and a tub of Goliath tigerfish, or would you break your leg like Weidman and still fight Aaron Donald?
I want Iguodala. That's what I want.
Yeah, we're gonna leave that at that. We want Iguodala.
A tub of Goliath. Bro, this man always says the wildest stuff. I think we just can't even pay him a mind at this point. He just says things.
That's funny. Void, we want Iguodala.
Yeah.
Just so you know. That's our answer.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. All right. Let's see. We'll probably take 1 or 2 more. Void says, yo, Sutton, can Alex be featured in a Sleaze Mob video? That'd be funny.
I still have to meet up with you first. That's
I know. We haven't even done our meetup yet. It's got to happen soon.
Yeah, the summer for sure. Easily.
For sure. And we're gonna drop a photo shoot and all that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna put together a whole package. So y'all can see Simply and Sutton. You know what I mean? Like live in person, live in action. Who knows? Maybe you'll see us with a couple Ravens players. Who knows? Who knows, man? Stay tuned.
I don't
stay tuned. Yeah. KLA Sports. I got KLA Sports says, what do you guys think of the jersey rule? Also, simply, I can make jersey swaps for your free agency vid thumbnails. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Well, thank you. Yeah. I like it. I'm not gonna hate it. Tom Brady was just complaining about it, like, bro, about how, like, you see that, how, like, the offensive linemen, bro, do y'all just, like, have nothing else to, like, just whine about? Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, and it's gonna be rare because you have to buy out the whole inventory of what jersey you have left. So it's gonna be hard the first person that we know is Patrick Peterson, because that's confirmed. But besides that, yeah. All
right, so I think we'll go ahead and end it on one more question from Asmodeus Donato says, would you rather experience the Resident Evil game or Silent Hill and experience in real life? Have you ever played Resident Evil?
No.
Or Silent Hill?
No.
I think Resident Evil is more zombie based, and Silent Hill is a little bit more demon haunted house based. I could be very wrong. I'm not like well versed on either of these things. I played a little bit more Resident Evil, or I'm a little bit more familiar with Resident Evil than I am Silent Hill, but I'm not like a huge buff on either of these things. But if I had to guess on which one I'd rather experience, I'm probably gonna go with Resident Evil, only because I've played the game before. I would feel more familiar in doing it. And hey, I feel like I'm going to die either way, so I'd rather die in a familiar place than an unfamiliar place. That's my answer. I'm sticking to it.
Simple as that.
Yeah, simple as that. So we'll end it on this one right here. I think this is the perfect one. G Money, our guy G Money coming through again.
Bang.
Says Purple Rain Podcast for life. Thank you so much, bro. We appreciate you, Joe. We really do. We really do. All right, so I think that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for us tonight. This has been a amazing episode. Thank you guys so much for coming through, watching the live stream. If you're not watching the live and you're watching the replay, thank you so much for rocking out with the Purple Rain Podcast with your boy Sutton Def and Simply AS10. You can find us on Twitter or Instagram. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Sutton Def. You can go ahead and follow me, DM me, mention me. I love to chop it up with you guys about whatever, whenever. And then my guy over here, you can find him on Twitter or Instagram. On Twitter at SimplyAS10, exactly how you see it spelled right there. And then also on Instagram at simplyas10.prod, exactly how you see it down below.
Real quick.
Yeah.
We got one more super chat.
Oh, we do.
Just came through from Asmodeus.
Oh, it did. Yeah, he clarifies. He says, Resident Evil are mutated bioweapons through a virus, and Silent Hill is your worst fears come to life. Deeply psychological. Okay. Mutated bioweapons through a virus. And Silent Hill is your worst fears come to life. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Resident Evil still, you know.
I don't want my worst fears in my life.
Right. I feel like that'd be way worse. You know, that'd be way worse. But big shout out to you, Asmodeus. Thank you so much for the donation. Casper says, awesome show, guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And draft is 3 days away. Christopher Swain, he points it out. He says he's pumped. We're pumped. We hope the rest of the Rain Gang is pumped as well. Make sure you guys are tuning in, locked in on the Purple Rain Podcast channel, because we will be live streaming the entire first round of the NFL draft. So also, last thing, just make sure you follow us on Instagram for all updates on Purple Rain Podcast and Ravens. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let my guy Alex take us out for the night.
And as always, thank you for coming through to episode 46 of the Purple Rain Podcast. The Morgan Cox episode.
Yeah.
Morgan Cox. What a name. Formerly of the Ravens, now on the Tennessee Titans. He left us. He just sailed ship on. But thank you for coming through. Yeah. And as always, we'll see you on Thursday, draft episode. Stay positive, test negative.
And most importantly, call God.